In today's video, we are going to look over an interesting project which is a real-time balance tracker or a wallet tracker application. So the project is about getting the real-time balance and balance updates of an address to track its activity. And for this project, we are using the Bitquery's balance update APIs. And for the logical reasoning part, we are using JavaScript and Node.js. And for building a simple front end, we are using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So the logic or the fundamental behind this project is quite simple. So what we are going to use is we are going to calculate the current balance as the sum of all the balance updates from the past plus the balance updates which we are going to get from a stream that is implemented using WebSocket connection implementation. So this is the official documentation and this is a GitHub repository. If you are feeling any difficulty or if you are stuck anywhere on this project, you can refer to these. So let's go on the GitHub repository. So what I want you to do is to run the project, I would want you to copy this address and type the command of git clone and paste this one. Then after that, what you need to do is you have to install the dependencies using npm install and run the program using node index.js. You can then check out the localhost 3000 on your browser and you will get something like this. This is the UI we are building. So I went ahead and have installed the code base and the dependencies. And you can see over here we have a basic README file that contains some basic information about the project, like the address that we are going to use for this tutorial and the queries. This is the GraphQL query which will return us the current balance. And this is the subscription that we will use in the WebSocket connection to constantly monitor the address balance. And the currency which we are tracking in this tutorial is Ethereum. Now, without any further delay, let's jump right into the heart of the project, that is the index.js file. So you can see over here that firstly we have imported the requirements which are the express for initiating a server. We have path, we have get balance and config from the balance.js file, which is a function and an object that is required to get the current balance of the address. We have also imported the .env and configured it. This step was necessary to access the variables in .env file. Those variables are a standard address and the Bitquery authorization token. Now we have initiated the app. After that, we have declared a variable called current address, which has a standard value as of now. Now we have created two endpoints for the app, which one of which is to handle the inputs from the front end. So what this does is that it takes the address from the request body, and if there is no address provided, it will return an error. If the address is provided, it will update the current address variable and send the success message. Now there is this other endpoint to get balance. What it does is it modifies the config.data, the data that is the data property of config object as per the needs, and gets the balance for us. And if there is some error, there is the error handling code. Now after all this, we have initialized our WebSocket using the WS library. This is the URL where for the authorization we are using the auth token from .env file, and initially it will send connected to the Bitquery message, and after connection you can send your payload, which is this following subscription, to the WebSocket, and it will constantly provide you with a stream of balance updates. What you will do is basically you will update the current balance on the front end according to the messages you are getting from here. And on the last, there is a error handling part for the WebSocket as well, and we have initialized the app over here. Now let's try and understand the balance.js file. So this is quite simple. We have imported Axios because we are using Bitquery API. To access that API, we are using Axios. We have configured the .env to access the auth token from .env file. This is the standard data that we are using currently, and this is the config object. Now, this is the get balance function, which is an asynchronous function that calls the post method mentioned over here and returns the sum, or if there is an error, returns the error. We have exported this and imported that in the index.js file over here. Now, let's try to understand the front end part. So what's there in the front end is the basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We have initialized our header. This is the style of various objects that we are using. We are using a form. We are using a spinner. Now in the body, we have declared a heading, a basic form. We have also added some spinner animation for user convenience. And these are the scripts that we are going to use to connect the front end from the back end. And we are using an interval because I want to update the balance of the particular address every 10 seconds. And there are some basic calculations, so I have already went ahead and ran this file. So what you need to do to run this program is type the following command, which is node index.js. So now you can see the program is running on the localhost 3000, and what I'll do is I'll go ahead and paste the address that I copied from the readme file, and I'll click on the track balance button. You can see it's currently loading, and you can see we have got our balance, and this is going to get updated after every 10 seconds or so. You can see the balance got updated. I'll fast forward this part. So like and subscribe, and make sure to join the Telegram channel for more such interesting projects and support. I'm sharing the link to the documentation and the GitHub code repository for your reference in the description of the video, along with the Telegram channel link.